Hello everyone. Today's episode we're going to go over some physics interactions, picking objects up, dropping them, throwing them around, making sure we can't push objects through walls and things like that. So the first thing we're going to do is, this is a blank project. It's a first person project. I'm going to open up the first person character and we're going to create a line trace function. So we call this, we should call it trace function. First thing is we do a line trace by channel. The start is going to be the first person camera's world location. Get world location. That is going to go into the start. We're also going to get the forward vector. That will go into a multiply. And then the bottom one will be how far you want the trace to go. So I'm going to use 300 plus the world location with the forward vector and put that into the end. And we're going to do a 1 frame line trace. Next, we're going to promote the out hit. Oh, sorry. We're going to promote the out hit to a variable. And then we can return for now. So now we have a line trace. We're going to use this on tick, so event tick, and then pull in the trace function. So now if we try it, we have a simple line trace like this that follows the camera. Next thing is we're going to create a interface. So right click and then blueprint and interface BPI underscore grab. I'm going to call this. In here, we want a throw object function like that. And then we're going to create an actual object we can pick up and throw. So we're going to call that BP underscore pick up base. And let's add a cube. I'm going to make the cube 0.5. Make sure the cube is set to simulate physics like this. And then come to class settings, interfaces, and add the new one we just made, BPI grab. And then we can drag that into the world. So we need to now set the logic up for actually grabbing an object. So the first thing we need to do is add a physics handle, like so. And that'll basically, this is the way we will grab hold of an object and then hold it in physics and move it around and things like that. So what we're going to do now, we're going to create a new function called grab object. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab the out hit and then we're going to break it. So we can right click and split. We're going to check if the out hit actor is valid. And we're also going to check if it implements the grab interface, grab. And we can combine that with an and plug that into a branch. So the next part, if it does that, we're going to create a macro, and the macro is basically going to check that we're not stood on top of the object, because if we are, it will make us fly away. So we're going to make a macro for that. In this macro, it's going to do a line trace by channel. We can plug the input into here like this. And then we also need another input, which will be a actor, like this, and that will be the target. So what we want to do now is we're going to get the actor location, and then we're going to minus 200. We're basically going to do a line trace down to see if anything is below the player. And that, if it is, what we want to do, we're going to break this, and we're going to check if the hit actor is not equal to the target. And the target is basically going to be the object we are clicking on. So we're going to check if the object we want to grab is not the object that is below our feet. And we can plug that into a branch like so. The output, we can take the... oh no, we don't need the branch here. What we can do is we can plug the output into output here, and the Boolean return can go into there, like that. So back in the grab object, what we want to do next is we want to call that macro. So we can call the macro check below, and we can drag it in and call it, and that will go on the true. So the target will be the hit actor, and then we can go into a branch here. The two objects we're checking are the same. We can just return here. If it's not false, what we're going to do is we are going to set use CCD from the hit actor. So I can get this, split it again. From the out hit component, we want to set use CCD just so we can have better collision and it will stop objects going through the wall. So enable that. Next thing is we're going to grab the physics handle and we're going to say grab component at location. Sorry. The component is going to be the out hit component there, and the grab location is going to be the hit component get world location, and that is going to go into the grab location like that. So once we've grabbed it, we're going to right click on the hit actor and promote to a variable like this, and this is going to be the grabbed actor. Next, we're going to use gameplay tags. So we're going to add a new variable. I'm going to search gameplay tag container. We're just going to call it tags. Gameplay tags. I'm going to pull out this and we're going to add gameplay tag. Now these are, instead of using booleans, we're going to click here where it says none plus. So the way this works is you can use dots to split things up. So I'm going to do player dot whole grabbed object. The source we're going to put in the default gameplay tags and then add a new tag like that. Right, and then we can return here. So let's check. Yep, that looks fine. Event graph, I can do left click, left mouse button, and I can do grab object. So let's see. So if I play now and I go up to this here and I left mouse, so it's not doing it. Why is that? Let's see. I'm missing the most important part now. So to get this to work, once we do the event tick, we're going to do a branch and we're going to get the gameplay tags and say has tag. So we're going to check if we are now grabbing an object like this. If we are, what we want to do is we want to get the physics handle and say set target location. And the target location is going to be the first person camera. Let me just move these here. First person camera, get world location plus first person camera, get forward vector, multiply by a float, and this is how far away from the player you want the object to be. So for me, I found 170 is pretty good. And we can connect those up like that. So now if we try, let's see. So if I go up and I click, you're still not grabbing it. So I see what I've done is I haven't actually clicked this when I created the gameplay tag. So let's see now. We go up and we grab it. There we go. So now we have a physics object that we can move around and push things over. And if we take it to a wall and push, it doesn't go through. And to check the jumping on things, so if we jump up here and we click, we can't grab the object. So the next thing is actually dropping the object, which is another function. So let's make a release object like this. We're going to do a branch and we're going to basically make sure that we are holding an object. So we're going to do hashtag and we have the tag. So we have an object grabbed. If that's true, we're going to get the physics handle and do get grabbed component. Just to verify, we're going to say is valid to make sure it actually exists. If it does, from the grabbed component, we can set use CCD. We can turn that off. We don't need it anymore. Then we can release, from the physics handle, we can release component like this. We can then grab the gameplay tag and remove gameplay tag. So we're going to remove the grabbed object. And then we're going to do a branch. And the branch is going to be from this release object. So we're going to create a new input. It's going to be a Boolean. We're going to call this throw object. And we can pull out from the branch and type throw object. So we don't have to basically drag this all the way over here. If that's false, we're going to set the grabbed actor to nothing and then return here. To then run this, when we release the mouse button, we can release object and not have that ticked. So if we try it now, if I grab it and then let go, so there we go. And we can throw it around and do what we want with it. So next is the throw the object. So I create a new function for that. Actually, we don't do that. So for throwing objects, what we're going to do is we're going to use the interface that we created. So what I'm going to do is do right mouse button. And on the right mouse button, call release object. And click throw object here. So then when we go into release object here, we can get the grabbed actor. We can call throw object because it'll be a interactable, like so. And then we can then just plop this down here like this. So now if I do anything now, it won't work. What we have to do is inside the object, when we throw the object, so we can call it here, we need to then put some logic in. So what it's actually going to do once it's been thrown. So when we throw the object, we're going to grab the static mesh. going to set physics linear velocity, and we plug that in. We're going to get player controller, and then get player camera manager, get camera rotation, and then get forward vector like this, and plug that into, oh, nope, sorry, and then multiply that by float, which will be how far you want the object to go. So I'm going to do 500 and plop that in and add to current. So now if we try this, so we pick up this cube, if we let go of left click, we drop it, we right click, we throw it. This we go, whoop. And if we increase this number on the interactable, let's say if we do 3000, and then we, oh, why is it not? Oh, it's gone in the background. So if I now right click, we launch it a lot further. And what you could do is you could basically change this depending on the mass of the object. So if it's a very small object, so like a rock or something, you could just grab it and like throw it far and hard. But if it's a big object and you don't want it to move too far, you can lower it and just like, oh, little bit of a throw. It also works with velocity, because we've enabled add to current. As we're moving forward and throw it, it will take in its current movement and then it will actually add to it. So now we have that. We have picking an object, we have releasing the object, and we have throwing it. What if we want to do something like rotating it? So let's do rotating the object. So to do that, let's create a new function, which will be rotate object. In here, we need two parameters, and they're both going to be a float, and it's going to be X and Y. Look at that. What we need to choose here is get the grabbed actor just to check is valid. If it is valid, we want to set target on the physics handle. We want to set target rotation like this. The physics handle, what we want to do is grab it down here and do get target rotation. Oh, sorry. Get target rotation. Get target location and rotation. Split the rotation and do plus on the X and plus on the Y, and then add these two here like this. Then we can make rotator like that, and we can hook those two up like so. And then we can add a return. To call this, we're going to create a keybind. So we're doing keyboard E. Let's see, keyboard E. Once we press it, we are going to, first of all, do a branch. And we're going to check two things. We're going to grab the physics handle, and we're going to grab the grabbed actor. We're going to check is valid on the grabbed actor, and on the physics handle, we're going to get grabbed component, and we're just going to check if it's equal to not equal to empty, like this. And then we can connect this to an AND, like so. So if it is, what we can do is we can grab the gameplay tag, and we can do a add gameplay tag. And we can say player dot inspect rotating object. Oh, I need to add it. Player dot rotating object. Make sure the source we pick. We add that, and then if it is released, we just grab the gameplay tag again and we remove the gameplay tag. We do the same thing just to make sure we're holding something through, and then we want to remove that like so. And the reason we do that is what we're going to do is we're going to hijack this look here. We're going to do a branch. I'm going to get the gameplay tag and say has tag, and we want rotating object. So if we don't have it, we're just going to ignore and carry on. If we do have it, what we're going to do is we're going to call rotate object, and we're going to take the X from here and the Y from here. And now if we try this, let's see. So if we grab an object and we hold E, it's not moving. Why is it not moving? So I know why this isn't working. I've made one slight mistake. When we grab an object, instead of using grab component at location, we need to grab component at location with rotation. One silly mistake. So if I unclip these and plug these in like so. Now if we go and try, if we grab and then hold E, now we can rotate. Just make sure that you have component with rotation enabled. But now if we hold E, we can rotate. If we let go back to moving it around. We left click to drop. We can right click to throw. So, and we shouldn't be able to push things through walls and things. And if we stand on it, then you can't. So now you have a way you can grab objects, throw them around. You can hold E or whichever key you want to spin them. So if you want to like have a physics game where you need to place objects down in a certain way, or if you just want to build a tower for some reason, and then you can throw them and you can set the strength. Hope this has been useful. If you want to support me, I have a Buy Me a Coffee and I have a Patreon. I will put up some project files. If you have any suggestions for stuff you want to see, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next video.